One day I was out and about doing some work for a nonprofit that's really their cause resonates with me. My local domestic abuse shelter. And so I was out doing some fundraising. And while I was out and talking with this person who worked for this particular company, they asked me, why do women stay in these relationships? And then the next question I asked, some of them leave and then they go back, right back to that situation. And this is something I wanted to have a talk about with you guys because I know from the outside looking in, you might think, well, why would a woman do that? And I just wanted to share a little about my experience because for many years I found myself in an unhealthy, toxic relationship. And while I never experienced physical violence, I definitely experienced psychological, emotional, mental abuse. And it's so many layers as to why a woman would stay in that situation. It's not always financial. I know for me, at one time I was working in corporate America, so I had the good job and I had the salary to where financially I was taking care of myself anyway, so it wasn't a financial dependence. But oftentimes, what it is when a person gets into your mind and affects your mindset, you don't believe that it's even possible. Your self-esteem is so low that you just feel like this is what I got to do. And so that self-esteem and also just loving yourself as a person, the self-love you have for yourself begins to dwindle because you think, well, surely I can't be all this and get treated like I'm nothing. And so when you have that factored into it, and then for some women, it may be the it might be a situation where I've seen this as well, where you might be working and able to support yourself, but this person takes control of your income to where you don't even have access. So you leave and where you're going. You don't have access to money to get a place or anything. And oftentimes, when you're in situations like this, the perpetrator normally keeps you isolated to where you don't have um, a support system. They keep you isolated from family, friends. So it's like, okay, who am I going to reach out to? Because they do their best to keep me from my loved ones. And so I want to share with you guys that never, never, never look down on someone because of their situation. I believe that's one of the reasons, especially when you think about Black women. I know for me, as I mentioned, I found myself in unhealthy relationships like that for a long time until I started doing the work. For me, part of that work included therapy, life coaching, self development books, things of that nature to get to the place where I am now, where I unapologetically love myself, y'all. Um, but it's a process to get there. And even now, for me, I'm still doing the work. It's just not a one and done thing, it's a evolution. That's one of the reasons you probably notice that a lot of the content on here is about self love. It's about Black women and us knowing our worth. And one of the reasons behind that is, yes, my story, but also because so many of us experience domestic abuse because if the National Domestic Abuse Hotline is saying 45% of Black women experience domestic abuse in relationships, we know that that number has to be higher because so many women don't report. So it's pretty easy to say that over half of Black women find themselves in unhealthy relationships, and it's time for that to change. We deserve love. We deserve to be treated like a queen because we are, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the work I'm doing. You may have noticed the current initiative that I have right now with the Love Letters to My Girls book, because that's a really great tool on knowing your worth, loving yourself as a Black woman. And that's why I want young ladies to have that book. And right now, starting with colleges in HBCUs in Alabama, in Arkansas, and hopefully with y'all support, I can take it even further. But it's time for us to love ourselves, know our work. If you want to be a part of this initiative that I'm doing, if you're a corporation and watching this video, I do have sponsorship opportunities. We can talk about that. And if you're an individual watching, when you purchase a copy of the Love Letters to My Girls book from me, and you'll see a link for it on my link tree, Hiller Cassandra, you'll see the link there for the Love Letters to My Girls book. You're helping to for me to be in a position where I can gift a copy because I'm not, yeah, I'm not on Oprah level yet, y'all. So I'm just not able to give all these copies unless you guys are purchasing copies of this book. So I would appreciate your support. Not only is it helping me to fulfill a dream, but bigger than that is ensuring that these young ladies have a tool. Of course, we're going to continue and have more resources for these ladies, but at least they have something. Because within the book, you have a little over 100 Black women who have written a love letter, and it's centered on loving yourself in some shape, form, or fashion. So, hearing this from over 100 Black women, it is going to make a change in your life. If you're a sister watching this, know that you are one in a million. You are loved. If you are in an unhealthy, toxic relationship, it doesn't matter what type of abuse. Uh, no one should be allowed to mistreat you. There is support. You can contact your local domestic abuse shelter, call the 1-800 hotline. You can reach out to me. I'm here for you. Feel free to direct message me. But there is life can be so much better on the other side of things. I promise you. And as always, I'm wishing you love, health, and happiness. Until next time, stay blessed.